Winter does more damage to vehicles in 3 months than the other 9 months combined. And most of it is caused by drivers doing things they genuinely believe are helping their car. Long warm-up idling, ignoring the tire pressure light, skipping the battery check because it started fine yesterday. These habits feel reasonable, and they are quietly setting up failures that hit at the worst possible moments. After 40 years working on vehicles, the calls I dread most come in January and February. Someone stranded in freezing temperatures because of a problem that was weeks in the making. These are the 5 things you need to stop doing to your car this winter before one of them leaves you on the side of a road in the cold. Before we get into it, if you want real, experience-based car advice that keeps your vehicle running when the temperature drops and everything gets harder, subscribe to Make Car Go right now. No brand deals, no fluff, just straight information from someone who has been diagnosing cold weather failures for 4 decades. Hit that subscribe button and let us get into it. Stop 1. Stop idling for 10 minutes to warm up your engine. This is the most deeply embedded winter car myth in existence, and it is doing genuine damage to modern engines every single cold morning. The belief that sitting in the driveway with the engine running for 10 or 15 minutes protects the engine comes from an era of carbureted vehicles that genuinely needed time before they would run smoothly. Modern fuel-injected engines do not work that way, and long idling does not warm them efficiently. It creates a different problem entirely. After approximately 30 seconds of idling, unburned fuel begins washing down the cylinder walls. That fuel strips the protective oil film from the metal surfaces and dilutes the oil, thinning it from a lubricant into contaminated liquid. Oil temperature rises 8 times faster during gentle driving than it does during idling, which means the engine sitting in your driveway is spending that entire time running on degraded lubrication while the temperature gauge barely moves. You are not warming the engine up. You are wearing it out while burning fuel to do it. In winter specifically, the problem compounds because cold oil is already thicker and slower to reach critical components at startup. Long idling keeps the engine in that vulnerable cold start window far longer than necessary. I start the engine, wait 30 seconds maximum, and then drive gently for the first 2 miles. Light throttle warms the oil, coolant, and transmission fluid faster than any amount of driveway idling, and it does so without washing the cylinder walls with unburned fuel. The engine reaches operating temperature sooner, and the lubrication system is working properly from the moment you leave the driveway. Stop 2. Stop ignoring tire pressure. When cold weather arrives, tire pressure drops approximately 1 psi for every 10-degree Fahrenheit drop in ambient temperature. That relationship is physics, and it does not negotiate. A vehicle with tires correctly set at 35 psi when it is 70 degrees Fahrenheit will have tires sitting around 28 to 29 psi when the temperature drops to 0. That is 6 to 7 psi low, which is enough to compromise handling. Increase stopping distances on winter roads and accelerate tire wear, all without a warning light appearing on the dashboard in many cases. The TPMS warning triggers at approximately 25% below the specified pressure. On a 35 psi tire, that threshold is around 26 psi. A tire that has dropped from 35 to 29 psi from seasonal temperature change alone stays just above the warning level. Drivers go entire winters with underinflated tires and no warning light, wondering why the car feels vague in corners and takes longer to stop. Check tire pressure at the start of every cold season and recheck monthly through winter. Always check cold before the vehicle has been driven that day or at least 3 hours after it was last moved. A tire checked after a drive reads 4 to 6 psi higher than the actual cold pressure because driving generates heat. That false reading gives false confidence while the tire continues running low. Check both axles individually against the specifications on your door jamb sticker. Many vehicles specify different pressures front and rear, and running the wrong figure on either axle affects handling balance and causes uneven wear through the season. Stop 3. Stop neglecting the battery. Because the car started this morning, a battery that starts the car fine on a 50-degree morning in October has meaningfully less capacity when the temperature drops to 10 degrees in January. Cold temperature reduces battery capacity dramatically. At 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and a standard lead-acid battery delivers only about 40% of its rated cold cranking amps. At the same time, cold engine oil is thicker and requires more cranking effort to turn the engine over. You need more power from the battery at exactly the moment the battery has the least to give. The failure pattern is predictable. The battery performs adequately through autumn. The first serious cold snap of the season arrives. The engine cranks slowly on a Monday morning, but eventually starts. The driver dismisses it as just being cold. By Wednesday, it does not start at all. Now the driver is standing outside in freezing temperatures waiting for a jump start or a tow. Paying emergency roadside rates for a battery that a 10-minute test in a warm shop would have identified as failing 2 months earlier. On any battery that is 4 years old or older going into winter should be load tested before the cold sets in. A load test applies a controlled electrical load equivalent to half the battery's rated cold cranking amps for 15 seconds while monitoring the voltage. A healthy battery maintains above 9.6 volts under that load. A failing one drops below that threshold, even if it reads a normal 12.6 volts at rest, and starts the car without complaint on a mild day. Most auto parts stores perform this test for free. The test takes 5 minutes and tells you exactly where the battery stands before the temperature makes it irrelevant. Beyond the battery itself, check the terminal connections for corrosion before winter. White or blue-green crusty buildup on the posts creates electrical resistance that reduces the effective power reaching the starter. A battery that tests fine on its own can still cause slow cranking and hard starts if the terminals are coated in corrosion. Clean them with a baking soda and water solution, dry them thoroughly, and coat the posts with dielectric grease before the cold arrives. That 5-minute job prevents a category of no-start complaints that fills shop appointment books every January. Stop. 4. Stop neglecting your coolant and assuming the heater will just work. The cooling system has 2 jobs in winter that get very little attention until one of them fails. The first is keeping the engine from freezing in overnight temperatures. The second is providing the heat that keeps the driver and passengers warm. Both jobs depend entirely on the anti-freeze mixture being correct, the system being full, and the thermostat functioning as designed. The anti-freeze concentration in your coolant determines the freeze protection level. A 50-50 mix of anti-freeze and distilled water protects down to approximately -34 degrees Fahrenheit, which covers most climates. A 70-30 anti-freeze to water ratio pushes that protection to around -84 degrees Fahrenheit for extreme cold regions. Check the concentration with an inexpensive anti-freeze tester, available at any auto parts store. It takes 30 seconds and confirms you have the protection level your climate actually requires. Do not assume the mix is correct just because coolant was added at some point. If someone topped up the system with plain water at any stage, the protection level has been compromised. If the system is full and the anti-freeze concentration is correct, but the heater is still blowing cold or barely warm air, the thermostat is the most likely cause. The thermostat is a temperature-controlled valve that stays closed when the engine is cold, keeping coolant circulating only within the engine block so it reaches operating temperature quickly. Once the engine is warm, the thermostat opens and allows coolant to flow through the radiator for cooling and through the heater core for cabin heat. A thermostat that is failed open allows coolant to circulate constantly, meaning the engine takes a very long time to reach operating temperature, and the heater never delivers strong heat because the coolant never gets hot enough. In cold climates, a failed open thermostat can make the engine nearly impossible to warm up at all. Coolant also does not last forever. Anti-freeze contains corrosion inhibitors that deplete over time. An old coolant with exhausted inhibitors allows acid buildup inside the cooling system that corrodes aluminum components, damages hoses, and degrades gaskets from the inside. Most manufacturers recommend a full coolant flush every 3 to 5 years depending on the coolant type. If the coolant in your vehicle is more than 5 years old and has never been replaced, winter is the worst time to find out what depleted inhibitors do to a cooling system under thermal stress. Stop. 5. Stop running summer wiper blades and old washer fluid through winter. Wiper blades are the most consistently neglected item on any vehicle, and the consequences become genuinely dangerous the moment sleet, snow, and road spray enter the picture. A standard all-season wiper blade that has been on the vehicle through a full year of UV exposure, heat cycles, and road grime contact will streak, skip, and leave large unwiped sections across the windshield in wet winter conditions. Doing that at highway speed in a snowstorm while trucks are throwing slush at your windshield is not an inconvenience. It is a visibility failure at the worst possible time. Winter-specific wiper blades have a fully enclosed rubber boot covering the blade frame. That boot prevents ice and packed snow from building up inside the blade assembly and lifting sections of the blade off the glass. A standard blade without that boot will collect ice in the frame joints during freezing rain, causing the blade to arc across the glass without actually making full contact with the surface. The driver hears the wiper moving and assumes the windshield is being cleared. It is not. Silicone-based wiper blades last significantly longer than standard rubber blades because silicone degrades far more slowly under UV exposure and temperature extremes. They also resist the streaking that develops as rubber blades age. If the blades on your vehicle have been there for more than a year, replace them before winter starts. Doing it in November when the shelves are fully stocked takes 5 minutes and costs less than $30 for most vehicles. Doing it in February after the first ice storm means competing with every other driver who had the same thought too late, and driving with compromised visibility in the interim. Washer fluid is the companion issue. Standard washer fluid with a freeze rating of 32 degrees Fahrenheit is effectively water with a small amount of detergent. In freezing temperatures, it will ice over on the glass the moment it contacts the cold windshield, turning a dirty window into an opaque one in a single spray. Use winter-rated washer fluid rated to at least -20 degrees Fahrenheit for most climates, or lower if your region regularly sees extreme cold. Keep a spare jug in the boot. Winter driving depletes washer fluid quickly, and running empty when the roads are covered in salt spray and road film is a situation that gets dangerous fast. Pour winter fluid directly onto an iced-over windshield before scraping, and it loosens the ice significantly, cutting the time and effort required to clear the glass by half. While you have the hood open checking the washer fluid, look at the drive belt. A serpentine belt that is cracked, glazed, or audibly squealing in mild weather becomes significantly more likely to slip or fail in cold temperatures when the rubber hardens and the pulleys it drives become stiffer to turn. The alternator, power steering pump, water pump, and air conditioning compressor all run from that single belt on most modern vehicles. If it goes in January, you lose charging, cooling, and heat simultaneously. Check it before winter and replace it if there are visible cracks, fraying at the edges, or if it has been making noise. A belt that needs replacing costs between $25 and $50 in parts and an hour of time to swap out. A belt that breaks in the middle of a winter commute costs a tow, an emergency repair, and however long you spend standing in the cold waiting for help. If this kind of straightforward, experience-based advice is keeping your vehicle out of trouble, subscribe to Make Car Go right now. More videos exactly like this one are coming, and you do not want to miss them. Hit that subscribe button right below this video. Winter does not break cars. Neglect does. The 5 mistakes covered here, long idling, ignoring pressure drops, skipping the battery test, leaving the cooling system unattended, and running old blades with the wrong fluid, are all simple to address and expensive to ignore. None of them take more than an hour combined. Take care of them before the temperature drops and your car will handle everything winter throws at it without leaving you stranded. Drop a comment below telling me which of these you have been guilty of and what you want covered in the next video. I read every single one.